Lots of people believe that to succeed in calisthenics, you have to be shorter, you have to be lighter, and if you're heavier or taller, that puts you at a massive disadvantage. But in fact, that could not be further from the truth. Being heavier is like a cheat code for calisthenics. And first of all, we need to talk about what calisthenics actually is. What do you need to succeed in calisthenics? And what I can think of are three things. Number one is strength. So how strong are your muscles? How much force can you produce to do these bodyweight movements? The second aspect is conditioning. How strong are your joints and tendons to handle the load that you put them under? And number three, coordination. So strength, conditioning and coordination, these are the things that are important. And if it was just about being lighter and shorter, then surely women who on average are lighter and shorter than the average man, surely they would be the top in all aspects of calisthenics. Surely they would succeed when it comes to all of these areas. But men typically have women beaten when it comes to strength. But on the other hand, women, especially if they have a background in something like gymnastics or dance or something like that, they have more coordination, and a lot of the time they can also have more conditioning as well, because estrogen, the primary hormone that women have as opposed to men, is something that can insulate joints, help recovery in a way that men might not have to the same extent. But the point being is that being lighter, being shorter, these things are not what matter most for calisthenics. And don't get me wrong, these things can certainly help, because I'll give you an example, right? Back lever is a skill that I have been training for a while, and whilst I was trying to learn it, I was struggling with the attempts. So I weigh about 85 kg now, but I used to weigh less at the time. I weighed only about 73 kg, and my height is 5'11" or 181 centimeters. And I had this mate who's 5'4", 162 centimeters. He tries back lever for the first time, literally the first time, and this guy actually gets it on his first attempt. This skill that I've been trying to learn for months, bro just gets it on his first attempt. And that can show that there is a genuine benefit to being lighter. It can improve your leverages sometimes when it comes to skills like a back lever, when it comes to skills like the planche. But this is where nuance is present. For those things, sure, being lighter, being shorter, that can help you. But there are other elements that being heavier, being taller can help you with. Now the first of these is in terms of recovery and maximizing conditioning. So if you remember, we talk about strength, we talk about conditioning, we talk about coordination. If you have more weight on you, you have more insulation around the joints. If you're bulking up, even if it's a small surplus, even if it's 100 calories of surplus, that energy can be used so much better to maximize joint strength, tendon conditioning, all of these things, which I found very much in my experience. I bulked up maybe a little bit too fast in retrospect, from 72 kg up to about 85 kg. And which version of me do you think was actually better primed for calisthenics? The 72 kg version or the 85 kg version? I actually believe it's the heavier version of me. Yes, I did gain a little bit too much fat when I did this originally. I've changed my body composition since. I've maintained around 85 kg, but I've been losing fat gradually, gaining muscle, definitely gaining a lot of strength in that time. But this heavier version of me is actually more primed to succeed in calisthenics because I have so much better joint conditioning because of the calories that I've consumed, as well as the specific work that I've done for joint conditioning. That's only possible to have at this level, to have at this extent, because of the surplus calories that I had, because I was willing to bulk up and become heavier. And that can really be the difference in terms of injuries, because someone who trains with the same intensity but they have different weights, one is a lighter, one is heavier, the heavier one who has spent the time developing joint conditioning and has had more calories to actually produce that joint conditioning can be stronger than the lighter athlete. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, strength as well. So we talked about strength as one of the key components of calisthenics. The heavier you are, generally, the more muscle you have, especially if you gain that weight through training, through bulking up, through resistance training, progressive overload, then you have more muscle, and typically more muscle means more strength. And strength has a few components to it. It's muscle density, there's neural adaptation, there's quite a few different aspects when it comes to strength, but generally, more muscle helps you to be stronger. If there's someone who weighs 60 kg, or about 132 pounds, and someone who weighs 80 kg, or 176 pounds, of course, more strength is needed to do a pull-up, or a dip, or bodyweight squat for the person who weighs 80 kg, as opposed to the person who weighs 60 kg. So it's easier for these purely bodyweight movements to unlock them a lot of the time if you are lighter. So normally, lighter people can do pull-ups more easily. They can get to repping more bodyweight pull-ups, repping more bodyweight dips, repping more bodyweight squats more easily because the threshold of strength is lower. But here's the interesting thing. You can gain more strength always as a lighter person or a heavier person. The heavier person typically has a higher ceiling for strength, so it might take that heavier person longer to unlock the basics, the pull-ups and the dips and the squats and stuff like that, but they have greater strength potential because they have more mass that they can grow, more mass that they can use. And so you see this in street lifting, which is the calisthenics version of powerlifting, the sport for weighted calisthenics. A lot of the top street lifters are actually heavyweights. They weigh more than 80, 90, 100 kg. A lot of the top resident names like Matthew Zalat, Tonio Zeidler, Luda Adamantium, Perry Cole, a lot of these people who are strong at street lifting are also quite on the heavier side. They're very muscular, they're still relatively lean, but they're also taller athletes. A lot of them are still pretty adept at skills as well. There is nuance to this. You can be very good at calisthenics as a lighter athlete, and you can be very good at calisthenics as a heavier athlete. It doesn't have to be something that limits you. You don't have to be in this position of thinking, oh no, but I'm too heavy for calisthenics. I'm 6'2" and I weigh 95 kg. There's no way that I could ever do calisthenics. But you genuinely can. That's the beautiful thing about this sport. And calisthenics, if you don't know, it means beautiful strength. Kalos, stenos, the words that it originates from, it means beautiful and strength. And I can't describe anything that encapsulates that more. And calisthenics is an incredibly inclusive sport that can accommodate for different genders, different weights, all of this kind of stuff. And yeah, I'm not trying to go all woke on you, right? But it's the truth. If you're male, you have more benefits when it comes to strength, you have more benefits when it comes to absolute performance in street lifting and stuff like that. But if you're female, you also have the benefit of coordination. You might have some benefits when it comes to conditioning. You can learn skills like the handstand more easily. There's so much that can be unlocked. The mobility component is easier for women to unlock a lot of the time. So there is this balancing between the genders. You can be lighter, you can be heavier. If you're lighter, you can succeed a lot more with skills and with endurance and stuff like that. If you're heavier, you can really push absolute strength. You can maximize your conditioning as well. So there is a place for everyone in this sport. And ultimately, that is what my philosophy is. It's about limitless strength, because in this industry that is so full of limits, so focused on genetics and steroid use and all this kind of stuff, if you don't do two-set method, you can't get good strength, yeah? Like, focus on the wrong things, man. You need to realize that there are no limits. You don't have to put yourself down in terms of what you're capable of just because of your background or where you come from or what you are. And so, if you want to have limitless strength in all different areas, whatever that is when it comes to your goals, to be able to achieve incredible results, like 70 kg dips, a 220 kg deadlift, a 2-hour half marathon, to have strength and ability and capacity in all realms, then check out the link below, book a call, and I'll see you there. And as always, remember bro, keep improving.